Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Friday, October 17th, just about 7:45 at night, and this is our daily recap video for our YieldMax weekly paying funds, ULTY, the Ultra Option Income Strategy Fund, SLTY, the Ultra Short Option Income Strategy Fund, and LFGY, the Crypto Industry Option Income Strategy Fund. Reminder, I'm on X at ETF_Inspector1. I let you know when videos are premiering in case you like to catch the live chat. It seems to get the info out faster than YouTube. I ask that you do still click on the notifications, though. That lets YouTube know people like the channel, and it's more likely to suggest it to other people. That helps me out a lot. I also post all things related to the ETFs or to the channel. I did make the announcement yesterday that the Roundhill video is going away, and I'm going to start covering 4 of the single ticker stocks, 4 or 5. I think it's 4: Coney, Misty, NVIDIA, and Tesla. They're all the ones that are in the billions. So we're going to be doing detailed coverage on them as well. It was a very stressful time with trying to get the downloads and everything today from the website. So I'll get into that more in a little bit. Let's take a look at the market. Obviously, it was painful. ULTY down to 515, down 1.9%. Not a fun day, not a fun week, not at all. Especially the fact that we were in the 540s at one point this week. We'll go through all the individual holdings within it on our spreadsheet. We'll take a look at LFGY. They almost got back to even before dipping back down again, down 0.87%. And so obviously if the market's struggling, then it's a good day for SLTY. They were up 2.18%, $39.37 where they ended. All right, we'll start with ULTY and their trades. So I had to reach out for help because here I'll show you. Watch, it'll work now. But I've been waiting all night. I've been ready. I could have got the video out hours ahead of time. But when we click on the trades, instead of the normal download that I can pull up, it's a CSV and then I can copy and paste. It does this instead. And you'd think, oh, okay, no big deal. Look, I'm clicking. I can't highlight anything. I can't copy. I can't paste. I can't do anything with this. It's just viewable. I can't do anything at all. So I've been reaching out for help. Fortunately, I did get some help from ETF Delta. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with him. He provides coverage on ULTY and SLTY. He does a Substack. He kind of writes a newsletter all the time. So somehow his automatic pull of the information was able to pull ULTY and SLTY. He sent that to me, so I was able to copy and paste that. And so then from there, I just had to scroll down to all of LFGY's trades and manually type them in one by one into my spreadsheet. So I didn't literally put all the QSIP information. I literally just put which stock ticker and then buy to close or sell to open, whatever, the quantity of contracts, the price, and the math for that. So that's what has been taking so long. I've been manually typing in every trade for LFGY. So I said before how much I like the new website. It's so cool. I no longer like it because every day is some sort of an issue, whether the holdings take, hours and hours extra long before they're available, or the trades just decided not to work today. So I don't like the new website anymore. I'll take the old reliable over the new cool, full of quirks. So, all right, rant over. Let's go ahead and take a look at what ULTY did today. Starting off, if you notice on the thumbnail, we are back out of Hut 8 Corp. That was quick. I think we just added them, on Tuesday, and now we sold them. Let's see real quick. Unhide. All right, so we sold them for $48.16. What am I, blind? Here we go. We bought them for 45.45. So at least we made a couple bucks per share, but it was a very small amount, less than $1 million invested in the first place, and less than $1 million on the back end. So we made like $150,000 on that trade. That's sort of odd for a $3 billion fund, but is what it is. Let's go ahead and hide those back away so we don't have to scroll through them. All right. Generally on our Monday through Thursday videos, we highlight in orange if it's a complete close and roll, and we go to the next page, do the same thing, so we don't have to talk about those trades since they've already been closed out. But we now know everything has been rolled to next week. Today is the expiration day, so all trades have been rolled to next week now, so we don't need to go through that, and we're not going to talk about how far options are in or out of the money today, because we're going to make a deep dive kind of week look ahead on Sunday that we go through every weekend. So big picture, just did we make money, how much, and let's get on with our weekend kind of video. Coinbase was the first one, had a credit of $1.7 million rolling to next week. As you can see, paying 5 cents to close out those calls. That's obviously winning. Those protective puts coming in clutch, $3.18 per share. We got to sell them for, so $700,000. Now next week we're gonna probably have that story in basically every one of these. CoreWeave buying the close for $3.24. These puts didn't go quite as far in the money, but still more than enough to pay to close out our calls. $24.49. Overall $2.1 million credit. Now, Galaxy is a stock that we've been trading a put spread on rather than a normal collar strategy. So when they went down, that hurt. We lost that put spread, had to pay $2.6 million to close and roll to next week. Hims and Hers really got roughed up today, closing out our calls for anywhere from 2 to 8 cents. We got to sell our puts for 22 to 71 cents. And then selling new calls for next week. $1.8 million credit, obviously buying puts for next week as well. Hut 8 Corp, we're just closing out our options since we sold all our shares. We're done with them. That cost us $16,000, so that'll come off the $150,000 we profited. Iron Limited, closing and rolling the next week, resulted in a $1.2 million credit. As you can see, paying 10 cents to close out the calls, collecting 67 cents. That is per share, 100 shares per contract, 8,000 contracts. As far as those protective puts, waiting for a good one. There's probably going to be one making millions. Pony, $3.3 million credit on the close and roll to next week. QUBT, Quantum Computing, $3.3 million credit rolling to next week. There we go. Paying 5 cents to close out our calls, collecting 18 cents and $1.05 on those puts. So that those protective puts right there brought in $2 million of income. Rigetti, $3.1 million credit on the close and roll to next week. We could see bringing in almost $1 million between those protective puts. Rocket Lab, $4.1 million credit rolling the next week. Nothing major there. Those kind of seemed like they were just played well. So just collecting lots of money rolling. Rocket Companies, $1.8 million credit on the roll. SMR, New Scale Power, $2.3 million credit. And SoundHound, $4.3 million credit. Look at those protective puts, collected $2.4 million on the closeout. Symbotic, almost $3 million credit, rolling to next week. As you can see, yeah, there you go, over $1 million on those $70 protective puts. And Upstart, $2.2 million credit, rolling to next week. Okay, so we are now, obviously, we don't have anything left open for this week because the week is over. And all in all, that resulted in a $32 million profit or credit on the options trading side of things today. It's going to go along with an ugly day, $89 million decrease in our share values. I can tell you at one point when I looked at it, it was like 160. So we'll take 89. We kind of got almost half of our losses cut back. So not bad. Obviously bad, just not as bad. All right, going through the holdings again. We're not going to talk about how far in or out of the money because it's either been closed and rolled or it's already for next week, and we don't want to talk about next week. So, Affirm, almost everything's down. Affirm down 1.69%. Bitmine down 2.2%. Cipher Mining, that's one of the ones that went up at least 0.2%. Centene Corp, we don't keep track ups or downs because they don't affect. We don't have any shares for it to affect. It's just playing into our options. We have a put spread. Coinbase up 1.75%. Core Weave down 3.4%. Figma down 1.6%. Hims and Hers, the big loser, they got roughed up pretty bad, 15.7%. I think they might have been the big loser yesterday too. I can't remember for sure, but they had a bad week. Yeah, so yesterday they kind of went from there to there, down 5.8, and then another 15 plus to go 20 plus. Robinhood down 1.1. Hut 8 Corp was down 0.6. Closed them out. We don't have them anymore. Let's see if we got a better price than the closing. 48.46. I think. Nope. We got about 30 cents less per share. Not the end of the world. Iron Limited down 1.8. Lucid Group down 4.3. MP Materials Corp down 3.6. And Strategy was the big winner today, up 2.1%. That was our biggest gainer percentage-wise. Palantir up just a fraction. Would they go up 3 cents? Pony AI down 5.5%. Quantum Computing down 2.1%. Rigetti was down 3.3%. Rocket Lab down 1 plus. Rocket Companies up 0.6. New Scale Power down more than 7%. SoundHound AI down more than 8%. Symbotic down 5%, and Upstart down 2.6%. So that's how we had an $89 million decrease in value of our fund. I should have done it. I wanted to show you guys. I'd have to write a formula here in the middle of the video. That would take too long. But I wanted to do a weighting of each underlying and its change, increase or decrease, to show that ULTY is not going to drop nearly as much as the weighted average of its underlyings. One, because of those protective puts. Two, because as the price drops, then their expense to close out calls drops as well. And three, because they generated income from selling them. So I know it's been rough lately, but it would have been rougher. Everybody always wants to point out that, when things are moving up, we would have done better if we just held the shares. Well, when things are going down, you'd be hurting worse if you were holding the shares. So you just got to understand everything as part of the investment and not just jump on things for the bandwagon. All right. Let's switch over to, let's go to SLTY next. We don't usually do them second. So no shares traded, just closing and rolling our options to next week. Starting next week, the coverage on SLTY is going to be significantly reduced. I will basically pull up the holdings, show you what they're shorting, and show you like the strike price on the puts that they're selling. But I need to get some time back so I can afford the extra time of adding the new funds. AMD roll to next week, brought in a credit of 12,000. ASTS cost 62,000. BitDeer cost 87,000. And so this is going to be because everything's dropping and they sell puts. This is kind of the opposite of ULTY. If everything's going down, ULTY wins all their trades. They get to close out their sold calls for nothing because they weren't anywhere close. Well, SLTY's been selling puts, so if everything dropped, then those puts are getting more expensive to close out. Enphase Energy brought in 2,000. GitLab brought in 10,000. Lemonade cost 11,000. Nebius Group cost 184,000. RH cost 7,000, and Tesla had a credit of 5,000. So all in all, it was a debit on the options trading side of 322,000. That's going to go along with an increase in share values of $598,000 based on the underlying shares. So in this fund, they short everything and then they trade options in a reverse collar strategy. So when you short the shares, they don't own any shares of Advanced Micro Devices. They just started at zero and then sold 4,300. So they have negative 4,300. So they collected the money. If this price goes down, then the cost to close these out goes down too, which would actually increase your value. But if the price of AMD goes up, then your cost to close out those negative 4,300 shares increases, which would drop your value. I feel like I explained that a lot. Hopefully, I think I'll stop. AST, well, so what we say? AMD down 0.6%, ASTS down 6.7%, BitDeer down 7.1%, and we still haven't found our worst yet. Circle Internet Group down 1.5%, Enphase Energy down 2.6%, GitLab down 6.1%, IonQ down almost 4%. Kicking myself on that one. They were at like 82 or 83 the other day. I have 100 shares in my 401k. I should have sold them. Kratos down 6.2%. Lemonade up 1.5%. Nobody told them the market was going down today. Nebius Group, the big loser, down 7.8%. That actually helps, right? All of these dropping increases the value of the fund. Reddit down 2%. RH down 1%. Tesla, the big winner, but that's not good for this fund. They increased the most, almost 2.5%. And United Airlines was up almost 1%. So that's how you had a $598,000 increase in the value of the fund. I actually realized I forgot to talk about something. So backtrack just a second to ULTY. Assets under management did decrease from the day before, obviously having some bad days. So 3.2 billion is the AUM at the start of the day, and then we obviously dropped again today. People sold out of the fund yesterday. The outstanding shares dropped by 9.3 million shares, bringing us under 620 million. NAV at the start of the day, $5.25. For some reason, Excel's pull of YieldMax ULTY is showing 5.16, but then this finance app is showing 5.15. So either way, it's ugly. One good note, I mean, we're sitting at like 100% IV, so they are definitely bringing in some serious premium trading options. And we all got our distribution a day early this week for the first time, so we got paid on Thursday. Probably spent it all already. I did. Okay, so back to SLTY. Now we're at that same point. For them, they started the day at $17 million in assets under management, 450,000 outstanding shares, and a 38.53 NAV at the start. Obviously, share price increased because the market was dropping. And they paid out 46.1 cents per share yesterday. All right, finally, we will end with LFGY. And if you've never made it to the end of the video, you're missing out because there's dad jokes at the end. Usually one, but if it's not great, like today, sometimes I'll add in a second. So there's two dad jokes coming at the end of the day, end of the video. All right, so like I said, if we take a look, I closed it already. If you looked at these trades, right, they would show all the information. Sorry for scrolling so fast. All right, so it would show it's a BitDeer October 17th, 2025 call for $26, right? It's got all that information. You guys aren't even that worried about that anyway. But I just put in BitDeer, Clean Spark. So if things start working again, I'll backfill it in, but it really doesn't matter. So it's really just, here's the trades. BitDeer had a credit of $243,000 closing and rolling to next week. Clean Spark had a credit of $230,000. Core Scientific had a credit of $48,000 rolling to next week. Galaxy, $180,000 credit. Hut 8 Corp, $311,000 credit. NU Holdings at $82,000 credit. Opera, a $5,000 credit. Riot, a $280,000 credit. And XYZ, a $94,000 credit. I had to actually, as I'm reading these, I started thinking I forgot to put my negatives in there, but they're in there. So won every single trade. So gotta love that. So on the trading day, they had a credit of 1.4 million. They didn't have a single losing day of options trading on the week. And while they did get roughed up, they did not get roughed up as bad as a lot of other things. So LFGY, for how bad the market was this week, I would say they performed pretty well. So we're going to be, what, negative 20-ish million, take away 5, so like negative 15-ish million. They made a profit options trading all week. All right, when we take a look at the holdings, BitMine was down 2.2%. BitDeer, the big loser, down 7.1%. You can see that takes almost $1 million in value off right there. Clean Spark down 2.3. Coinbase up 1 3/4. Core Scientific down 3.4. Circle Internet Group down 1.5. iShares Ethereum Trust ETF down 1. Galaxy Digital down 5.3. GameStop up a little over 0.5%. Robinhood down 1.1. Hut 8 Corp down 0.6. iShares Bitcoin Trust down 1.5. They've dropped like 10, $11 in the past week or so. Mara down 3.4%. MBTX dropped to 251. So if you've been following along, this put spread that expires at the end of the year is finally in the money. So it was worth over $7 million at the start of today, and then it dropped another like $3 or $4. So it's really going to increase in value. Mercado Libre down 0.8. Strategy up 2.1. NU Holdings up 1.7. Nvidia up 0.7. Opera down 1.5. PayPal up a little over 2. Riot Platforms, the big winner, up almost 2.5%. And Block up 0.8. So that is how we had a $2.3 million decrease in the value of the shares. Yeah, that's what I had. All right, at the start of the day, there was $215 million in assets under management. People actually bought into the fund yesterday, so maybe people were, because yesterday was payday for these guys, so maybe people were reinvesting their dividends. So 75,000 shares increased the outstanding shares to 5,875,000. NAV started the day at 36.60, and share price ended around 36.44. We all got 58.31 cents per share yesterday. And that's all the information I got for you. So nice. Got through it in about 10 minutes less than a normal weeknight. Fridays are usually pretty fast. We're getting real close to that 5,000 mark. I think it's like 4,897 or 8 or 9. So we only got about 100 to go to hit 5,000 subscribers. So appreciate you guys. And so I got a dad joke. I got 2 dad jokes for you. I'll tell the cheesy one first. I don't even think it's funny. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the support, all the likes, shares, and comments. Keep them coming. And again, look out for new coverage starting next week on those big YieldMax funds. All right, dad joke number 1. Why do bowling pins have such tough lives? Because they're always getting knocked down. Yeah, if you laughed at that, I don't know. All right, so I had to look up another one just because I couldn't end on that note. All right, so I used to date a girl with one leg that worked at a brewery. She was in charge of hops. That one's not that much better, but at least it makes you laugh a little. Okay, thanks for watching. More videos to look out for this weekend. Saturday morning, I put out my trades and holdings for the week video. So it's not going into any detail on any ETFs. It's just the moves that I made in my personal trading account. It's kind of just for fun. And then Saturday or Sunday, I come out with 2 videos, week look aheads and payment guesstimates for these ULTY, SLTY, LFGY, that kind of stuff. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video.